Hello guys, welcome to the lab. This is Adam. So what we have here is Unreal Engine, and the version that we are testing is 4.27.1. So that's the version that we are testing for Unreal Engine. I have opened that project already, and then the project that I am testing called City Park Environment, which I do have right here. And as you can see, the average that we are getting is around 20 frames, so give or take it goes up and down. It's still compiling shaders and the fans are on a little bit. Keep in mind this is the base model M1 Pro 14 inch, and Unreal Engine is working with no issues, like it's almost native. So let's go ahead and start testing. So what I will do, I will go ahead and apply that even though it's still making the shaders. So we do have that, and then as you can see right here, we are averaging around 8 frames right now, and this is not very doable, but the project is hard. Now you might be asking why the colors are like that. This is because of the RTX, because this project does have some RTX element in it, and this is the highest graphic that this project is at. It's, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's working here and there, but it's not working as it should. So if you are taking this machine for Unreal Engine for a very powerful high-end project, the M1 Pro will not do it, at least the base model, because what you need is a faster CPU than the one in the base model and more RAM, because this has only 16 gigabyte of RAM and has only 8 cores CPU. But let me show you something though. I have tested this project before with the M1, which here right here on my right side, I have tested this project with the M1 and I got it was around 70 to 80 frames, and what we are getting here right now is an average of 120 frames. So it's 120 frames solid, and I can move and everything is just fine. And that shows you that Unreal Engine first worked with no issues. It even works better than the M1, because with the M1 it does have some hiccups here and there. Plus the other thing is, keep in mind right now I am recording the screen, so if I was not recording the screen, this would actually go up to 150, and that's even more performance. And because of that performance, the difference between the base model M1 Pro 14 inch or even the 16 inch compared to the M1 Pro is around 20 to 25 difference in power, where this is faster by 20% than the normal M1. So the M1 Pro with its base model, the 8 core, is 20% faster than that, and I will definitely be getting the higher end model, the M1 Max, fully spec'd out everything to the end, and we will do testing with that as well. Now let's do the third and the final project. Let me show you right here, and I will open that as well, and we will see how much frame rate we will be getting. And plus there is a video that is upcoming where I will be testing Unreal Engine 5 as well, so subscribe, hit the like button, make those videos go out, so the more they get views and such, I will be encouraged to do those videos, because my goal, hopefully by the end of this year, we will get to 10,000 subs. But with that being said, here is the project that I do have. Let me just show the frame rate, and then here we go. So what we are averaging right now is around 100 to 90 frames. I would say it averages around 90 frames. Now you might be asking why the colors are like that. The colors are like that because this project has some RTX element in it as well, and with the RTX element it just looks a bit too bright. But right now we are averaging from 100 to 120, so I would say the solid average is around 100 frames. And keep in mind we are recording the screen as well, so if we were not recording the screen, we will be getting around 130 frames, and that's even better. And again, when I tested that project on the M1, it was around 80 frames per second. So that gives us an idea that the difference between the two is around 20%. This base model is around 20% better than the M1. The M1 specs are the fully spec'd out version, 1 terabyte SSD with 16 gigabyte of RAM, and then 8-core CPU and 8-core GPU. But this have more cores when it comes to the GPU and has more cores when the same cores when it comes to the CPU, but it has extra 2 efficiency cores, and that's where you will see the difference between those two, where this has a better performance in 20% than that. So if you are planning to get the base model to do work for Unreal Engine, I do not recommend that at all. Now you might be asking why. Let me show you why right now. I will go ahead and open the activity monitor, and as you can see right now, since we have a unified memory between the GPU and the CPU, Unreal Engine like to use the RAM and like to use the GPU as well. Therefore, it will be using all of your RAM, which means you are actually having a bottleneck where the GPU is being used 100%, but the CPU not as much, and your RAM is not enough. So if you get more RAM, what would happen is you would have more room actually to do more work with the GPU that is included inside those Macs, because remember, the memory that you are having or the RAM that you are having is shared between your CPU and GPU. Therefore, you need as much RAM as you can get in order to get a better performance, and that again goes back to my original thoughts with the M1, where if you want to get the best out of the normal M1, the base M1, you need 16 gigabyte of RAM, and I believe with this, in order to get the best out of it, you need at least 32 gigabyte of RAM, and we will definitely see that when I get my fully spec'd out version here in the lab as well to do more testing with it. But in general, when it comes to Unreal Engine, if you want to do Unreal Engine with the base model, I do not recommend it, because if you are watching this video, that's mean probably you are doing it professionally or whatever that may be. If you want to learn with Unreal Engine and such and get only the base model, yes, but if you want to actually get it and keep it with you for a very long term in order to do some great work with it when it comes to Unreal Engine, my answer is no. I do not recommend this base model for Unreal Engine.